after this meeting? Al, you could be here by yourself with that. Gotta go, Ralph. That's not bad to say. To the flag.
Madam Clerk.
Yes, Mayor. Board of Commissioners public meeting Tuesday, June 2nd, 2015. The time is now 7:32. Pursuant to the requirements of the Open Public Meeting Act, Chapter 231, notice of this meeting was published in the December 11th, 2014 issues of the Nutley Sun, the Star Ledger, and the Herald News. A copy of this notice has been posted in the Nutley Town Hall Bulletin Board, and a copy is on file in the Municipal Clerk's office. Commissioner Rogers? Commissioner Tucci?
Here.
Commissioner Evans?
Here.
Commissioner Scarpelli?
Here.
Mayor Petracco?
Here.
All present, Mayor.
Thank you. We'll move on to communications, please.
Yes, the Knights of Columbus, number 14172 of Holy Family Council has submitted a Sunday letter for an off-premise merchandise raffle scheduled on Sunday, August 30th, 2015. I need a motion.
Move it. Second.
Commissioner Rogers? Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli?
Aye.
Mayor Petracco?
Aye. Thank you. We'll move on to the bills.
Yes, Mayor. Public Affairs, $19,390.71. Revenue and Finance, $2,377,211.86. Public Safety, $67,907.04. Public Works, $120,149.06. Parks and Public Property, $697,828.19. Total payroll,
Sorry.
I'm sorry, total payroll, $780,241.69, for a grand total of $4,062,728.55.
Move the bills.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli?
Aye.
Mayor Petracco?
Aye. Thank you, Madam Clerk. We will now move on to, I have public hearings, I'm sorry, ordinance introductions this evening. I'll read them by title, and then we'll vote on them separately like we discussed. Ordinance number 3309, 3310, 3311, and 3312. Read as follows: an ordinance to fix the salaries of certain officers and employees of the Township of Nutley, County of Essex, State of New Jersey, effective January 1st, 2013 through July 7th, 2015. This is for our Nutley dispatchers that work in public safety. I move that the ordinance be passed to a second reading and advertised in the Nutley Sun together with the notice required by law, and that further consideration of said ordinance for final passage by the Board of Commissioners to be held at its second reading on July 7th, 2015.
So ordinance number 3309, we need a motion.
Move it.
Move it, Mayor.
Yes.
Second.
Second. Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli?
Aye.
Mayor Petracco?
Aye. Ordinance number 3310, I move.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli?
Aye.
Mayor Petracco?
Aye. Ordinance number 3311, I move.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli?
Aye.
Mayor Petracco?
Aye. And ordinance number 3312.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli?
Aye.
Mayor Petracco?
Aye. And just for clarification, it would start January 1st, 2016. Commissioner Evans, move on to your ordinance.
Yes, I have a public hearing tonight for 3308, which is an amendment of an ordinance to basically delete and add a handicap parking spot on Lovell Court.
Is there anyone here this evening that would like to address the Board of Commissioners on ordinance number 3308? Seeing no one?
Close the public hearing.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli?
Aye.
Mayor Petracco?
Aye.
Move the ordinance.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli?
Aye.
Mayor Petracco?
Aye. Okay, Commissioner Evans, you have also the budget?
Yes, tonight we have two things to do tonight. One is to amend the budget to recognize the increase in aid we received from the state, and then second is to actually adopt the 2015 budget. So I'll first read the amendment, which says, whereas the municipal budget for the year 2015 was approved on the 17th day of March 2015, whereas the public hearing on said budget was held as advertised, and whereas it is desired to amend said approved budget. Now therefore be it resolved by the governing body of the Township of Nutley of the County of Essex, State of New Jersey, that the following amendment of the approved budget be made. Total general revenues from $54,263,671 to $4,432,202, and general appropriation from $54,263,671 to $432,202. Before we vote this, we need to have a public hearing related to the amendment only. The amendment here is to increase our aid from roughly $5.2 million to $5.5 million.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone this evening that would like to address the Board of Commissioners on resolution number 171-15?
Penny Landry, 135 Lakeside Drive. So the Mayor, the increase in the state aid was how much?
I'll let Commissioner Evans answer that for you.
It was from roughly $5 million. This is the transitional aid portion,
Correct.
increasing from roughly $5.2 million to a total of $5.5 million. So it was roughly a $300,000.
A $300,000 increase.
Correct.
And what was the original ask?
Originally asked, we were originally asked for $6.2 million. We were allowed at the time of the original adoption of our budget to anticipate 85% of that, as it's an ongoing negotiation. Upon review of our budget, considering the increase in the assessable values that came from added assessments, the number was reconciled to $5.5 million.
Which was a $300,000 increase over the
Additional
anticipated 85%.
Right. But if you take the gross increase year over year, that's actually $2,750,000
From last year.
from last year.
And this is transitional aid related to Roche, which, as I understand, is based upon the 3-year projection of loss in values. And what are we anticipating for 2016 in loss of value?
Don't know that yet.
Okay, thank you.
Is there anyone else that would like to comment on this resolution?
Move to close the public hearing.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli?
Aye.
Mayor Petracco?
Aye. Well, you
Adopt.
have,
We need to,
No. Now therefore be it resolved by the governing body of the Township of Nutley, the County of Essex, State of New Jersey, that the following a budget amendment of the approved budget be made. So move.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli?
Aye.
Mayor Petracco?
aye. Thank you very much, Commissioner Evans. Okay, we'll move on to resolutions.
No, we have one more thing to do.
Oh, I beg your pardon, sir.
I've got it. So tonight, now that we've recognize the increase in state aid, we need to move to adopt our budget for 2015. It's been previously advertised. We previously hosted a public hearing on that. So tonight we just need to move on the vote of the budget. Be resolved by the governing body of the Township of Nutley, County of Essex, that the budget herein set before us is hereby adopted and shall constitute an appropriation for the purposes stated of the sums therein set forth as appropriations, and authorization of the amount of $36,909,843.44 for the municipal purposes, and $1,211,193.56 for the library. So move.
Commissioner
Second.
Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli?
Aye.
Mayor Petracco?
Aye. Commissioner Evans, is that all you have this evening?
That's all I have this evening.
Thank you so much for your help. We will now move on to resolutions. Commissioner Rogers.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm pulling resolution number 166-15 this evening. On to resolution number 16715. I move to reappoint Anne Marie Nicoletti as Certified Deputy Municipal Register effective June 5th, 2015 through June 5th, 2018. So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Scarpelli?
Aye.
Mayor Petracco?
Aye.
Resolution number 168-15, the reappointment of Meredith Blank as Certified Municipal Register effective June 5th, 2015 through June 5th, 2018. So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli?
Aye.
Mayor Petracco?
Aye.
Resolution number 169-15. Whereas the Township of Nutley has applied for a grant in the amount of $6,505 through Partners for Health in Shaping New Jersey, from which funds will be used to offset the cost of printing informational material, pledge forms, and advertising banners, as well as the purchase of car magnets, which are intended to be a visual reminder for both drivers and pedestrians alike, emphasizing the importance of safe driving and pedestrian habits. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Mayor and Commissioners of the Township of Nutley and the County of Essex, State of New Jersey, formally approves the grant application for the Nutley Pace Care and Pedestrian Education Program for the term of March 2015 through December 2015. Be it further resolved that the Mayor and Clerk are hereby authorized to sign the grant agreement on behalf of the Township of Nutley, and that their signature constitutes exception to the terms and conditions of the grant agreement, and approve the execution of the grant agreement. So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Before I vote, I'd like to explain that this is a very, very important program that has been put together by the Department of Public Health and the Department of Public Safety. And the mayor has worked very, very hard, and we've seen the signs all over town, to increase awareness of pedestrian safety. It's a problem not only here in Nutley, it's a problem around the state, but he's been trying to be very proactive in getting police cars out there, signs out there, officers out there, and we still have the problem. So the Department of Health, we've been able, through our department, get a grant that'll help him as well as us. So, Mayor, it's a daunting task we have, but we have the money now that may be able to give this a good boost. I vote aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli?
Aye.
Mayor Petracco?
And just before I vote on this, a couple comments. It's really good when we could work together on these types of projects, and it's really good government when you share services like this. So I want to thank Commissioner Rogers for all your efforts in tracking down that grant, and crossing the streets in Nutley. We've really made it a really good effort to slow this traffic down by enforcing the speed limits around town. This month we had Click It or Ticket. We've had the pedestrian crosswalks with help with the Sheriff's Department in the county. And it seems like when the cops disappear, the people go back to their old habits. So it's a good team effort, Commissioner, and I applaud your efforts. Thank you, and I vote aye. Okay. I have a couple of resolutions. Whereas seal bids for furnishing and delivering police dispatchers and crossing guards uniforms and equipment were publicly opened and read on May 20th, 2015. And whereas Turnout Uniforms is the lowest bidder, and whereas the funds in the amount of $48,000 are available in appropriation entitled 5-01-310-200 Police and Dispatcher Maintenance Allowance, and the funds in the amount of $5,700 are available in appropriation Title 5-01-308-200. Crossing guards allowances have been certified by Chief Financial Officer, said certification being attached to this resolution. Now therefore be resolved by the Board of Commissioners, the Township of Nutley, County of Essex, State of New Jersey, that a contract furnishing and delivering police dispatcher and crossing guard uniforms and equipment consistent with the 2015 clothing voucher allocation being hereby awarded to Turnout Uniforms, 195 Patterson Avenue, Little Falls, New Jersey. I move the resolution.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli?
Aye.
Mayor Petracco?
Aye. Whereas raffle applications have been reviewed from the following organizations: and Knights of Columbus Holy Family Council, license number 25-15, off-premise merchandise raffle, Sunday, August 30th, 2015. VFW Post number 493, Stuart E. Ager, Ladies Auxiliary, license number 26-15, on-premise turkey tray, Friday, September 25th, 2015. Whereas the applications have been reviewed and approved by the municipal clerk and the police department. Now therefore it be resolved by the Board of Commissioners of the Township of Nutley, County of Essex, State of New Jersey, that the aforementioned licenses are approved and the municipal clerk is authorized to issue the licenses. I move the resolution.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli?
Aye.
Mayor Petracco?
Aye. Thank you. That concludes our business portion of the meeting. Before we open the meeting up, I think this is the Barr family here this evening, and I think I've gotten a few emails from them. We and I have to thank my assistant Sam Carella for working with you guys on this. So we have a proclamation for your daughter, and I'll be glad to read it. Whereas the Tourette syndrome, TS, is an inherited neurological disorder that is characterized by involuntary physical and vocal tics that occur many times a day, and whereas Tourette syndrome is often accompanied by other conditions such as attention deficit and obsessive-compulsive disorder, learning disabilities, and depression. And whereas the neurological disorder known as Tourette syndrome, TS, affects 1 in 100 children, more than 20,000 school-age children in the state of New Jersey alone are dealing with TS. And although some of these cases are aided by medication, there is no standard treatment or no known cure for this disorder. And whereas there is an important need for more professional help with interest and expertise to identify, counsel, and treatment people with TS, with the lag time between initial onset of symptoms and proper diagnosis for those who seek help, still averaging more than 7 years. And whereas the positive actions to assist those children and families dealing with TS would result from broadening of public and professional knowledge and acceptance of TS. And whereas the New Jersey Center for Tourette Syndrome is the first and only program of its kind in the nation, and they are actively providing services to families, educating medical professionals, teachers, social workers, and supporting research to understand the signs of Tourette's, treatments of TS. And now therefore it be resolved by the Board of Commissioners, Township of Nutley, County of Essex, State of New Jersey, that Thursday, June 4, 2015, will be recognized as Tourette Syndrome Awareness Day, and a special day to promote understanding, compassion, and acceptance for all the fellow citizens who deserve and need our support to break this stigma that it is related to Tourette syndrome. So, with that being said, we don't need a vote for a proclamation. I would just like to say congratulations to you for having the courage and the fight to do what you do every day. I could assure you the Board of Commissioners are very proud of you. And here in Nutley, we don't want to see any of our children with any kind of disabilities or sicknesses. So it's my pleasure and honor to call this day Tourette Syndrome Day and bring awareness to it. Commissioners, would you like to join in? Mr. Scarpelli? No? Steve?
That's fine, Mayor, you said it all.
Good, Mayor.
Okay, can we bring the family up and we'll take a little snapshot?
Don't be bashful. That's it. That's short and sweet. Said it all. Said it all. That's great.
Microphone back out. Don't be nervous.
All righty.
Okay, please just state your name and address for the record.
Tara Barr, 23 Edison Avenue.
Okay. What would you like to tell us?
Thank you.
Anything else? Mom, would you like to say something?
Hard.
It's hard, and we realize that, and we're very proud of you. And I know that Nutley offers a lot of things, and you could always feel free to come to your Board of Commissioners, your Board of Education. If you have a problem, you could see us in the street. Always tell us what your needs are, and we'll be there for you. That's a promise. Okay? Thank you. Let's hear it for the young lady. Okay, just hold on one second. Sam wants to talk to you guys before you leave. That concludes our business portion of the meeting. Is there anyone here this evening that would like to address the Board of Commissioners? Please state your name and address for the record.
Penny Landry, 135 Lakeside Drive, Nutley. The 2015 municipal budget, what will be the total tax rate this year, including the library tax rate? Total tax rate assessed to homeowners.
Commissioner Evans?
The 2015 rate would be $1. That's $1 and about 18 cents. It's actually 1.178.
1.178.
Correct.
And the 2014 rate was 1.116.
1.15. Oh, excuse me. No, it would be 1.153.
1.153. So we've gone from 1.153 to 1.178. And what will that be per taxpayer on $315,000?
$88.
$88 for the municipal portion. And what was the rate for the Board of Education?
1.595.
1.595. And what does that equate to per 350,000, 15,000?
$113.80.
113 plus 88, so that gives us
83.
Excuse me?
113.83. And the exact amount for the municipal is 88.12.
8812 plus 113, so we're looking at $200 and approximately $1 in property tax increase for every $315,000 of property value, correct?
You also have the county.
And what will that be?
That rate is .544.
And what
It's decreasing from .557, and that's a $47.74 decrease. So
what's the total for this year?
roughly $154.
So $201 plus $154.
No.
Is that the total?
The total is 154. It's 201 minus 47, 48, and then you get down to the 154.
Okay, so the county went down.
Correct.
But the municipal went up and the Board of Ed went up.
Correct.
Okay, so what was that total again? I'm sorry.
Roughly $154.
$154 tax increase for every $315,000 in property value.
Correct.
Okay. I want to acknowledge and thank those of you who had decreases in your departments. They are appreciated because, as you know, the tax burden is significant in the town, and I know that keeping the level of services that we have here is extremely important. I do have 2 questions, if I could be allowed those 2 questions. Sure. Okay, thanks. The treasurer's office, how many staff members are in the treasurer's office?
Treasurer's office includes purchasing, tax collector, cashiers, as well as the accounts that are in the department. So right now that's 3, 5, 8.
8 employees?
Correct.
8 staff members in the treasurer's office with a budget line item of $466,000 in salaries.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The other question I have is that we had an increase in salaries for the administration of township ordinances. How many employees come under the administration of township ordinances? It's salaries for administration of township ordinances.
Yeah, that's split, but you have a construction official, you have a zoning official, you have 3 other people plus that are full-time, plus a full-time building inspector, and then part-time electrical, fire safety, and plumbing inspectors.
And they come under administration of township ordinance, the construction official, the zoning official.
Yeah, I don't have the detail in front of me. I don't know what the split is, but that's everybody who's up there. So if
Okay,
you take
and you're
two,
saying that their salaries are split with some other
no,
departments?
they're into 2 groups. I just don't have the budget line item split to say this person's in this particular group, this person's in the other, because you have the administration of township ordinances and you have the construction office. So I don't know the exact split off the top of my head as it's allocated in the budget.
And when you say split, what do you mean? Because I didn't see construction office line item. They had administration of township ordinances, but do y'all have a copy of the budget here, given that?
No, I didn't bring it tonight because we already had a public hearing on the budget, so I don't have the budget with me tonight. We were only doing the amendment.
All right, well, we had an increase from 255 to 295 for administration of township ordinances. And could you give some detail as to why there was a $40,000 increase in that area?
Part of it would be salary increases, plus we added a part-time building inspector.
You added a part-time inspector. Okay. Building inspector?
Yes.
And so that his salary was roughly $40,000 is what you're saying?
Well, no, not his alone. I said, you asked me for the increase. I said there's salary increases plus there's a head count.
Okay, all right. And the final question is, the township clerk's office, how many staff members are in the township clerk's office?
3.
3? And could you explain why there was an increase from 154 to 160?
Because one of those employees was actually in the tax assessor's office in last year's budget, and they were moved from the assessor's budget to the clerk's office where they're now working.
Okay, so we have 3 people in the township clerk's office, and 1 was moved from the assessor's office.
Mm-hmm.
And last year we had 2 people in the clerk's office?
2.5.
2.5, and now we have 3. Okay, thank you.
Okay. And I want to thank you. because my budget went down year over year. So thank you for recognizing that.
I recognized everybody. I don't recognize salary increases, though, as a benefit to all of the township employees. I guess the last thing I want to say is, when you guys look around the room at the number of people that are here, I would just hope that when you're out in town and talking to people, that you encourage them to get a little more involved and to be here and learn about what's going on here.
I see many people a day.
It's really
And
just
I always encourage them
Thank you.
to get involved in, or all the organizations in town. Not just here, but it's
It's
good.
really discouraging to see an empty room week after week after week.
Well, I could tell you, when we have some big issues in town that I've had in public safety, this
Yeah,
room
I
has
know.
been filled in and out. So, I have to say, when you don't see too many people here, and I know that they're televised, it kind of gives me a good feeling that we're doing a pretty good job. Can we always do better and strive for the best? Absolutely, but
That's
it's
one way to look at it.
Yeah, but it's
Okay.
refreshing that if people, one thing about Nutley people, I could assure you, if they have a problem, they come out and they speak their minds, and we embrace it. So, at this point, if that's it tonight, because we just
That's
want...
it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Y'all have a great evening.
You too. Thank you, Miss Landry. I guess we could move to close.
Move to adjourn.
Commissioner Rogers?
Commissioner Rogers?
Before we adjourn,
Oh, I'm sorry.
about walking around town, seeing people and talking to them, do that every day, almost 100 people a day, visiting homes and talking to people of all ages. The one thing I'm hearing is that they want our services maintained. They love this town. They love the stability of this governing body. You don't hear that much in other communities. A lot of pride in this town. They're concerned about taxes, yes, as anybody is. The five of us are concerned about that. But they know darn well that the services in this town are second to none in the state of New Jersey. And if you were to ask me to prioritize a list of the things that they are truly concerned about, they want their streets safe, they want their parks clean. Mr. Evans, they know your background, and they scratch their heads sometimes saying, what are you doing here? And I've always said to Gentleman Joe, doing a great job cleaning these streets. So they are pleased with living in Nutley. And I hope to God that whether it's us or younger people in the future that take over, they follow our lead, do the job to the best of their ability like we have. So when the people are telling you that, when you're out on the streets and we're knocking on doors without any preempting them, and they're just offering those things up, I guess they're saying, thanks a lot, fellas. Appreciate it. I vote aye to close the meeting.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli?
Aye.
Mayor Petracco?
Aye. Good evening.
Time is now 8:05.